inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. One of the things that sets aside mentality and ability is when you put your mind to work, when you truly to your inner self, connecting to your inner journey is more important than the challenges that we face off against. See, becoming who you are inside is not an easy task. It's truly the ability to communicate with yourself on a level where you're truly putting in the effort and you're truly putting in the ability. Your energy is very important in multiple ways, and that's why I ask myself this question every day. Is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? And when I find myself in a place where I'm not achieving those for more than a day or two or a week or a month, it's inside of ourselves, so we have to start to seek out the answers to how to overcome those challenges. And if you find yourself in a place where you're not able to achieve those and the person that you are inside is not shining, then you got to do something. And recently, I just faced off against that. I faced off against how do I use those challenges within to overcome? How do you use those challenges within to be yourself and to use your gifts, your talents, and your dreams? And so as I sit here in my office, as I sit here in this place of focus and in this place of connection, I come to that realization that what we are seeking out after is positivity, and that place of connection. And we happen to have inside of ourselves two people. One is the strength and one is our weakness. And inside of our bodies, inside of our minds, it's always that battle to bring the one that's weak to be stronger than the stronger one. And when you allow that to happen, it's pretty impressive. It's when you're hitting rock bottom, it's when you're going through challenges, it's when you're facing off against things that your ability inside starts to open up. You start to become creative. You start to become connected to your purpose. And when we do those type of things, like spend time on ourselves, not allow ourselves to be around things that are not meant for us, we allow the universe the space and the ability to open us up to more. A lot of times we stop that ability by not even allowing ourselves the space to embrace the time for those things to go out of our way. And when those things are not meant for you, they will show themselves to you. Our purpose, our journey is to embrace this path, this purpose that we're on. It's to allow ourselves the ability to understand the energy inside of who we are in a complete aspect, in a completeness and a wholeness within who you are. See, if you're going to a position or you're going to a place that's not embracing the person that you are within, then you're truly not growing. I just went through a period where I was learning, where I was growing internally from working with people, and I'm truly grateful for those lessons that I learned, those people that assisted me in the process of learning those things that are part of this journey, that allow me to recognize that this path and this purpose has great work in it. See, the biggest challenges that we face off against aren't other people. They're in fact ourselves. They're in fact what we will allow into our space, into our minds, and into our mentalities. So if you ask yourself, what kind of things do I utilize? What kind of things do I put my mind to? Do I put my efforts to? Then you will start to see that your journey is worth it. And you will start to see that your path has purpose and that your journey has a place and that you're exactly where you're meant to be. That was one of those things that really woke me up to the mere fact that I wasn't in the position or the place where I could grow. I'm going to talk a little bit about when you understand or know or recognize that you've outgrown a situation. When the person inside of you starts to see that that place is no longer a place of growth, when the person inside of you starts to recognize that if I'm going to grow, I'm going to have to look within. When the person inside of who you are starts to ask you the questions, are you focusing? Are you truly putting in the effort, the talent, the skills, the abilities to open up your mind to the things that will help you, that will actually bring you to a place of growth, to a place of being? And when you're not receiving that, when you're not growing, when you're not in a place of purpose, when your challenges are not in a place of being where you're on this journey, which we call life, then it's time to look within. It's time to look at what it means to be yourself, what it truly means to be who you are within who you are. And this last year was a true test of that. It was a test of what are you made of, Marcel? Are you willing to continue? Are you willing to allow that stage, which we call this great journey, this great path that we're on, its place? And it is. And it is with recognizing that I had to focus on this journey, on this place within who I am, to seek out that place of focus, to seek out that place of being. And so it took me a few months to sit down, to start to put some inward work in, to put some time into this energy field. And when we take time to grow, when we take time to learn, when we take time to recognize this journey, amazing things start to happen. You start to learn about skills, you start to learn about abilities, you start to learn about things that you realized you didn't even have that capability to do. And so it is worth it to take on those challenges, to take on those professions. The greatest is to understand when your time to pass into the next part of that journey is. The time to allow that space its place, to allow that space its mentality. So many people stay in places that are not allowing them to grow in the direction in which their mind, their spirit, their bodies are headed. And so when we focus on our inwards path, when we focus on our inwards journey, it takes a lot of work. But it's truly worth the path. It's truly worth you being yourself. It's worth you speaking your mind and being who you are within. I always said, if you allow the things that aren't meant for you to move out of the way, the things that are meant for you will move in your direction. Hearing what I'm saying? All those things, all those people that were a part of that sales journey, they brought me to this place. They brought me to this ability. The people that are in my life are meant to be in my life on this journey. They're meant to be on this life, on this path. Your place in this journey was meant to be. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for all of you who have been a part of my life, no matter be positive or else, because you helped me to find myself. You helped me to find within what understanding is, find within what teaching is. I sat down and I set out a path to be able to close, to be able to learn how to close deals and to be able to get that skill. And I went in and I gained that skill, and I gained that skill with accuracy and with precision. And the purpose in that was to allow this skill to grow, to allow the skill of motivational speaking, of inspirational speaking, and meditation to grow greater than within. That the things on the inside would reflect outwards. And a lot of people saw that and they enjoyed it. And I enjoyed that part of this journey because of those people that were a part of it. Those people who allowed me to be myself, to allow me to understand that within is the answers, within is the solution, within is the path, and within is the purpose. So as I continue to grow, as I continue to work on focused knowledge and discipline, as I continue to work on motivation, meditation, inspiration, as I continue to put the path in place that allows the things that are not meant for us to move out of the direction. I've had an amazing last year. I've had an amazing closing of chapter. I've had an amazing story of growth internally, growth mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. I'm so grateful that I've gone through these challenges, that they would bring me to a place where I would sit down with myself and ask the question, what is it that we truly want? What is it that you truly want within yourself? What is it that will give you the ability to sit down and to put the energy to work instead of what will put others' dreams? You have major dreams out there, all of you. You have major goals out there. Are you taking the time and the effort to grow, is the question that I'm asking. Are you taking the time and the effort to understand yourself, to understand the importance of being who you are within, to be that person who doesn't give up on yourself, but actually allows those processes to happen? See, a lot of people were like, yeah, what are you going to do if you leave here? You're looking right at what I'm doing. I'm growing on a daily. They asked, what is it going to take for us to bring you back? How can you bring back what is meant to pass? See, a lot of people, they forget that when you let those things pass, you find yourself. When you let those things pass, you find what will bring you growth and happiness. And it's not to not be grateful for that part of your journey. It's to be grateful for that part of your journey and to allow it to pass. And so motivation, meditation, inspiration is a question I always ask myself. Is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? Because if it's not one of the three, I don't want it. And as I continue to work on this, as I continue to build the WordPress community is growing, and it's in supporting, and it's an amazing a platform. It's an amazing place of being, and I'm truly amazed by what it's doing for me in my life. You know, it's taken me from what is not meant to be to what is meant to be. I'm not one to be held down, to be bound by anything physical. Not one to be bound to anything that's emotional or spiritual. But one's meant to be free, you know? And so as you listen to these videos, as you listen to these as you listen to these videos, as you listen to the mentality, as you start to grow from within who you are, as you find yourself, ask yourself that form of a question. What would it take if I spoke who I am inside? What would it take if I became that person within? What would it take if I allowed the energy to flow within? And I hope that you can see the growth, you can see the progress, you can see the ability inside of what I'm talking about. Focusing on your dreams, focusing on your goals, focusing on your abilities, come from a place within who we are, where we can actually express, where we can actually use the energy within in ways that allow us that process. If you find that there are people that are not allowing you to express yourself, if you're finding that people are not allowing you to be yourself, to be the one that you are within, then at a certain point, those things will have the ability for that intersection to be where, if you allow those things that are not meant for you to leave your direction, greater things will come in your direction. But you have to learn how to allow those things to be, to allow that process to happen, to allow that process within its ability. By doing that, you truly can start to grow in the direction that's meant for you, the direction that will open up the ability for you to focus, for you to dream, to manifest, and to become. And so this is what the training of focusing teaches. When you use knowledge in a way in which you're bringing from within out, when you're using from within what you're made of to reflect outwards, it will find its way. And when you use your being in such a way, give me a second. Had to take a moment there and put some ability into what it means to be yourself. Every single day that I am in front of this camera is a victory. You know, I remember when I had nothing more than a van, and that van was everything that I had. I remember when everything that I had was able to fit in a room no bigger than this. And I was going inside a sauna at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was sitting in there and I was closing my eyes. And I was in a place of focus, and a place of purpose, and a place of centering to understand oneself. And I remember letting go of everything that's not, and gaining the ability to let it be, let it flow, let the energy from within become the purpose, become the path inside. And here I am in front of the camera with everything from my office. And I see the amazing support that I've had. I see the amazing community that's building on WordPress, that's building on podcasts, that are listening to these podcasts, that are becoming a part of the listener-supported pod. And I'm hearing you guys, and I'm utilizing the growth within to share it with you, to inspire you to use your mind, to use your purpose, to not stay in the places that are not meant for you, to move towards the directions that will bring you the blessings, that will bring you the ability inside of who you are to grow. And if I can inspire you to find yourselves, to find your purpose, to not accept mediocre, to not accept less than you are, to not accept less than what energy inside of you has, then motivation, meditation, inspiration is here to help you to grow. As I grow focus, knowledge, and discipline, as I speak about focus, knowledge, and discipline, as I bring the teachings that I've learned through meditation, through being around people, through being a part of what it means to be yourself, to be your best friend inside. You know, I want you to see you in that sense. See you in that place where skills can open up, where what it means to grow is not necessarily, see, when we use our skills, What? What?
I'm not gonna type it. I'll just use the old letter
Okay.
because I can't focus and, I